Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a regular viewer. Today's video is not going to be nearly as sensitive as a topic as the last video I posted. Speaking of which, thank you for your continued support on that video. I really appreciate everybody who's viewed it, liked it, and subscribed as a result. Let's keep the momentum going, I hope. But let's get into it. I honestly completely forgot about this case until hearing somebody that I used to know last week. I remembered years ago seeing a meme online about this case, and it wasn't until I looked into the comment section of the meme that I realized how bad and upsetting this killing was. I won't show the meme for obvious reasons, but it was a picture of the girl in today's video set to the chorus of the aforementioned song. Looking back on it, that was a messed up thing to see back in high school, and now that I make this type of content, I will bring you all this case. Viewer discretion is advised because I will be describing what happened to the girl in detail. With that, you've been warned, so let's get into it. I'd like to introduce today's victim, Bianca Devins. Born on October 2nd, 2001, Bianca was a recent high school graduate from Thomas R. Proctor High School in Utica, New York. Reports suggest she was getting ready to further her education by studying psychology at Mohawk Valley Community College. Bianca had a history of struggling with mental illness like anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, borderline personality disorder, among others. Her family reported she was in and out of hospital receiving treatment for the illnesses she suffered. Bianca was an influencer on Instagram and other platforms with a decent following, and her parents stated that social media was a, quote, big thing in her life. Social media is how she met Brandon Andrew Clark, a 21-year-old man that was acquainted with Bianca through Instagram. The two hung out quite often and considered themselves friends, according to police. Bianca's family and friends, on the other hand, weren't necessarily comfortable with Clark as he seemed a little too clingy to be just a friend of Bianca's. Reports suggest that one of Bianca's friends feared Clark was exploiting Bianca sexually and physically while under the influence of drugs. Furthermore, Clark was reportedly enticing Bianca with drugs so she'd spend more time with him. The relationship between Bianca and Clark was hard to describe. Bianca saw herself and Clark as just friends, but Clark wanted more. He envisioned himself as her god, and she wasn't obeying him, which pissed him off. Clark wanted Bianca. He wanted her all to himself, which is what led to her demise. On July 13th, 2019, Bianca and Clark, along with a mutual friend named Alex, went to New York City to see Nicole Dollanganger, who is a Canadian singer-songwriter. After the show, Bianca and Clark returned to Utica and began arguing. Reports suggest this argument began after Clark accused Bianca of kissing Alex. Bianca and Clark weren't dating, so Clark was unrightfully jealous. Clark then began assaulting Bianca. I'm not sure if it was sexual or battery, but as he continued to assault her, he grabbed a long knife from next to his seat in his car and sliced Bianca's neck. Bianca laid in agony until she died on July 14th, 2019, from her injuries. Clark left her near headless corpse in the car as he built a bonfire and listened to Test Drive by Joji. After killing Bianca, Clark called several family members in what they said sounded like a suicide note, prompting them to call 911. In a disgusting act, Clark sent photos and a video he made of the murder of Bianca's corpse to his Discord, telling his server, "Sorry, you're gonna have to find someone else to orbit." Many people in Clark's Discord server found the images as a joke at first, but some didn't and called 911. Some were concerned, stating things like Bianca Michelle Devins, "She's heavily bleeding but she still may be alive," among other 911 transcripts. These Discord calls came into Utica's emergency line from all around the country. Utica's emergency line was flooded with calls and messages about this same incident. By 7 a.m. EST, Clark also called 911 himself, informing them, quote, "My name is Brandon. The victim is Bianca Michelle Devins. I'm not going to stay on the line for too long because I still need to do the suicide part of the murder-suicide," end quote. Before the police arrived, Clark laid a green tarp over Bianca's body, concealing it with a suicide note on top. Clark posted more photos online before the police arrived. Clark also sent the photos of Bianca's body to her family. This man is a true heel for these actions. When authorities arrived at the scene, Clark stabbed himself in the neck. They had to take him to the hospital for emergency surgery, and they found Bianca's corpse under the green tarp. The next day, after his surgery, they placed him under arrest and charged him with second-degree murder. Authorities reported the possibility of the crime being planned out, stating that he, quote, had the knife and equipment to videotape the killing. Authorities also reported that Clark had made online searches such as how to find the carotid artery, how to incapacitate or kill someone, as well as general searches for killing and or hanging someone. Oneida County Assistant District Attorney Sarah DeMellier stated that Clark had given multiple explanations for the killing to multiple people, and Police Sergeant Michael Curley believed Clark desired fame by killing Bianca in such fashion. Bianca had her funeral on July 19, 2019, with many people in the Utica community coming to support her friends and family in the depressing events that took place not even a week earlier. Her grandfather was thankful for the support that came through for her. Disturbingly, on social media, photos of Bianca's corpse spread like wildfire on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, now known as X. In the degenerate website that is 4chan, hundreds, if not thousands of users praised Clark's actions in committing another 4chan murder when Bianca's corpse was shared over and over and over again on the website. Initial posts on Twitter spread a lot of misinformation surrounding this case, and others speculated that Clark was not an incel. To be fair though, Clark killing a girl out of jealousy is kind of an incel move if you ask me. Many online trolls sent the photos of Bianca's corpse to her family, sending them harassing and horrible messages alongside the photos. According to Stephen Cremando, a behavioral scientist, the trolls sending Bianca's corpse to her family is a form of psychological terrorism. Many of those messages sent actually blamed Bianca for being killed. How is it her fault some guy was obsessed with her to the point of killing her? Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter tried their best to keep the photos of Bianca's lifeless body off their platforms, but those who saw it definitely felt a sense of unease. Most of Bianca's family faced some sort of PTSD from the images being shared around. Her stepfather, who reportedly had the most harassment, suffered from flashbacks of the event. Her sisters reported seeing the photos of their sister's near headless body before falling asleep, and her own mother said those in her family who've seen the photos now suffer from PTSD. Nicole Dolenganger even turned to social media to ask people to stop spreading the images of Bianca's corpse. In the original hearing, Clark pled not guilty to second-degree murder on July 29, 2019. He was still in prison, though, awaiting more hearings and a possible sentencing. He was later charged with promoting prison contraband after a corrections officer found a shiv made out of a sharpened toothbrush in his cell. Devins' mother reported Clark wrote a letter about his crime, essentially bragging about how it felt to kill Bianca. This letter also reportedly explained the motive behind the killing. Clark couldn't handle the thought of Bianca walking out of his life. What a pathetic excuse. He really played the "if I can't have her, nobody can" card. On February 10, 2020, Clark changed his plea to guilty of second-degree murder. His sentencing was scheduled for April 7th, but it was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. On June 2, 2020, Clark tried to withdraw his guilty plea, but it was thankfully denied. His hearing took place on September 30th, 2020, and a written decision on his sentence was made around October 30th. On March 16, 2021, Clark was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. He formally expressed remorse for his actions, but I don't know if I can believe him. He killed her because he was jealous she kissed a mutual friend of theirs. In 2022, Bianca's mother and then Congressman Anthony Brindisi drafted new legislation that would make posting, sharing, or publishing photos of a crime scene for entertainment, harassment, or earnings illegal. This bill targeted social media platforms that made $10 million USD or more per month and had more than 100,000 monthly users like Instagram and Twitter. A version of the bill, named Bianca's Law, was passed by the New York State Assembly, which prohibited the posting, sharing, or publishing of personal images with the intent to degrade or abuse under certain circumstances. The bill was signed into law in December of 2022. Alright everyone, if you enjoyed the video today, please make sure you like the video and share it with a friend. Make sure you comment to see what you want to see next, and make sure you subscribe to see more content just like this. Also, be sure to check out the rest of the True Crime Shenanigans playlist. I'll leave the end card, it's probably on the screen right now. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Happy holidays and take care.